Today, we meet 22-year-old fitness sensation Josh Carter, a rising star in the world of health and fitness. At just 22, Josh represents the peak of what dedication and youth can achieve. Now here's the hard truth. After 30, the odds are stacked against you. Recovery takes longer. Your metabolism slows. And let's be real. If you haven't already hit your peak right now, you probably never will.
Yeah, that's me. Exactly 1 year ago today. December 19th, 2023. I was 39 and I was fed up with my lifestyle. So I decided to get in the best shape of my life before I turned 40. And 1 year later, this is me now. To get here, the plan was simple. Lose some weight, eat better, and get ripped. And I thought in 6 months, I got this. But 2024 threw me a major curveball. Yup, 2 surgeries in 3 weeks. Turned out, it wasn't just about getting fit. It was about surviving a year that pushed me through my limits and revealed parts of myself that I didn't even know existed. And now, let me show you what it really takes to be unstoppable at 40. So what do you do when you want to change the way your body looks? Obviously, you're going to have to move differently, exercise differently, but most importantly, you're probably going to have to eat different, my friend. No? And I did just that. I cut out all processed sugar. Now, I didn't want to jump right away into a strict, miserable diet, but I needed to set some boundaries. And this is something that I'd never done before, perhaps alongside of me working out. I was never an overeater or I was never an overweight person, but to help you understand better, I always, for example, had to have my cookie or something sweet with my coffee at noon. And almost every time I ate something, I wanted to try something sweet. So that was like my thing, you know, I wanted to have that freedom, but all of that freedom had to go. So I kept it simple. I cut out all processed sugar. But don't forget, I am Persian and I love my Persian food. Chicken and rice cooked with beef tallow. I'm telling you, these meals can hit up to 1,000 calories a plate. But I stuck to one plate and it felt great. You know, I hate the idea of counting calories. And when I wanted to start this journey, I said to myself, I'm gonna even title this video, How to Get in the Best Shape of Your Life at 40 without having to have to count calories. The plan was don't count calories, but eat real whole food and eat healthy and cut out all processed foods, especially sugar. And the first thing that I noticed within a week, my energy levels boosted. You know, I wasn't having that afternoon or noon crash that I always had, even after my coffee. So that was definitely the sugar talking. And week by week, I started to slowly see changes in my appearance. And I knew that I was making progress, slowly but surely. But when it came to fitness, I've always been doing it on my own for the past 10 or 15 years. You know, I've always learned things at the gym or from the internet. But this time around, I wanted to do things differently, so I went ahead and hired a coach. My good friend Siavash. This guy is a fitness scientist, nearly 20 years of experience. And when we got together, he didn't just throw me a cookie cutter plan. Nope, he broke me down literally. He looked at my weaknesses, which were my shoulders and my back, and said, we're going to fix this. The program laser focused. And every 2 months, we adjusted it, dialed it in, and kept going. But for cardio, I personally chose the assault bike. 30 seconds all out, 30 seconds slow for 20 minutes. At first, I felt like I was dying. But after a month, it was a game changer. The fat's starting to come off, but that wasn't the best part. You know what happens when you push yourself to the edge? Life outside the gym just became easier. I slept better, woke up sharper, and just moved through my day like a machine. We stuck with that system all the way through March. You know what? It worked. Slowly, but it worked. So by the end of March, I had started to develop some nagging injuries that started to, hold me back from my daily routine training. At first, it started with my knees, right below the tibialis bone. And man, it was painful. Every squat felt like punishment. Eventually, I just couldn't squat at all. And it wasn't just my knees. Tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, both were wrecked. I could not train my biceps at all. So, I started to experiment with some peptides, starting with PBC 157. I started taking it after 3 days. I'm not making this up. After 3 days, 80% of the pain of my elbows were gone. But I also wanted to get my testosterone levels tested, which I believe every man who turns 40 should do. And for context, testosterone levels on a normal range from 2.4 to 10 nanograms per deciliter. Mine was around 4.6. Not terrible, but definitely not great. And I wanted to fix that. So I started with some gels. Today is the 9th of March, 2024. I'm 40 years old and I'm gonna do my first day of testosterone. Right, buddy? Holy, I already feel it. Okay. All right, what's happening? April 18th today, and I'm into the 6 weeks of the TRT program. I can't tell you a lot has changed. I definitely feel better. The PBC 157 literally removed my injuries from the tennis and the golfer elbow on both hands. So after about 3 weeks or 4 weeks of applying the gel and thinking I was feeling better, I went and I got my results tested. And surprisingly, I actually came from 4.2 to 3.9. Turns out that the gels don't work. So I did a little bit of research, applying 5 grams of testosterone via gel. Depending on the skin, not even all of that gets absorbed. So I went back to my doctor. I said, Doc, you gotta hook your boy up because this is not working. That's when we switched to injections. Microdosing 30 milligrams every other day with an insulin syringe. And I get all my TRT information from more plates, more dates. So I did that for about 3 weeks. And believe me when I tell you this time, it was not the placebo, okay? Because every time I went back to the gym, I almost felt like 5% stronger. And when I would come home, I would feel less tired. I was able to go to the gym more often than I was before. So I was like, hey, maybe this is a placebo effect. Let me go get these results checked one more time. So I was eager to find out. I got my test results. I will put the results for you guys right up here. I think 8.7 if I'm not mistaken, and I was happy. I was finally at the range of testosterone that I wanted to be. So it felt good. I felt strong every time I went there, and there's some self-confidence about that. That kind of kept me going. Now remember, I'm still in the normal range. There were guys my age in our gym. I encouraged them to go and get their testosterone tested, and they got it tested, and their levels, some of them were like 8.7, higher than me, and they were not administering testosterone, but they were my age. So it's normal levels. Mine was a little bit lower, and I just brought it up to a good normal level, okay? So don't change the station. I'm not juicing. This is just some therapy to bring my testosterone levels to a good level, okay? Stay with me. It's been, I think, almost since October, a few months, 7-8 months journey. And I can tell you I'm happy from all the compliments that I get, especially when I go to the gym. But it's still not where I want it to be exactly body fat-wise. I got the peptides to fix my injuries, and with the TRT, I was already starting to feel a lot better. And I think it was about the same time that I decided to kind of push, the diet thing and take it to the next level. And I decided to start doing something that I had set out not to do, as I told you before. And I said, I want to start counting calories. And believe it or not, I learned this thing the hard way. It is so easy to lose track of what is your intake if you're not keeping a track of it. Now, I was losing weight. I was in a lot better shape than I had started, 6 months ago. But I could have finished this thing by the end of June if I would have, kept track of what was going into my body. Now I want to give you an example of what I ate in one day that came to roughly around 2,000 calories. I was eating good, hitting my protein goals, and still losing fat. And trust me, I was never hungry. So I would start a day with 5 whole boiled eggs, salt and pepper, a little bit of hot sauce. What the hell? Is that cheese? Wait, what are you doing? And sometimes I like to treat myself with 20 grams of raw milk cheese. That's right, it's packed with calcium and good fats. Now I'm gonna teach you a little trick that's gonna help you count these calories without the hassle of having to use an app, okay? Just gonna open the ChatGPT app. I'm gonna say, hey, I just had 5 boiled eggs, teaspoon of chicharita sauce, and 20 grams of raw goat milk cheese. Give me the protein and the calories of that. And just like that, without any hassle, I already have something that calculates my macros within seconds. I'm keeping my calories, no apps needed, no hassle, right? Give it a try. Lunch was all about getting the fuel for the evening workout. I'm cooking it Persian kebab style with 1 tomato, 200 grams of yasmin rice, and 200 grams of ground beef with 20% fat, which gave me around 480 calories and 40 grams of protein. Tastes amazing and kept me full. Dinner, light and clean, packed with protein. 150 grams of marinated chicken breast with mustard cooked on a casting iron to avoid adding any extra oil. And 150 grams of broccoli and cherry tomatoes with soy sauce to give it some flavor, and voila, there goes our dinner. And because I like to treat myself, full of nutrition dessert, raw yogurt with cacao powder and a drizzle of raw honey. Healthy, satisfying, and it makes you feel good. Now if you add these up, that's around 2,000 calories, and I was still in a deficit. You want to calculate if you're on a deficit? Here's a method. Calculate your BMR, basal metabolic rate. This is a minimum number of calories your body needs to function. And mine was 1,918 calories. Now this number changes based on how active you are during the day. For me, a couple of walks with my dog brings the number up to 2,300 calories. And that is my total daily energy expenditure. And when I go to the gym, I burn a minimum of 400 calories, which gives me a total of 2,700 per day. Which means I'm on a 700 deficit daily, which also means I am burning fat. So it was around June, July, I started to feel a little discomfort when I was peeing. It was kind of bothering me, and it was kind of going away and it was coming back. On August 12th, I remember exactly, in the morning, I went to the gym, and then I felt this huge pinch right in my stomach, like right around here. And I just went to the doctor right away.
Good morning, everybody. Today is literally August 13.
Yeah, so 3 weeks, 2 surgeries, 0 fun. This was a moment that everything went sideways. First surgery, they installed the stent, and 3 weeks later, they went ahead and took out the stones.
By the time you're watching this video, I'm looking like a beast sitting in front of you. See ya.
Need storage space? Well, is 208 terabytes enough? As a content creator, I'm always working with huge files, and the NAS sync makes it effortless to store, access, and edit all in one place. Right now, I'm sitting on my laptop, no cable, no hard drives, and I can access all my files instantly. That is the power of the Ugreen NAS Sync Pro, all right? But this isn't just for creators. Any small business, tech enthusiasts, anyone who needs secure and fast data storage, the NAS Sync is for you. If you're ready to take control of your data, check out the link in the description, and thank you Ugreen for sponsoring this video. This thing was supposed to be done in June, man. And here we are in October, and I'm still at it. A month and a half ago, I was literally 2 weeks away from finishing this journey. 2 weeks! But life had other plans. It broke me, mentally and physically, and I wanted to quit. But I couldn't. And I didn't. So I went to Siavash and I said, man, I'm gonna give myself another 30 days. Give me a plan, give me a diet plan that's gonna help me get there without killing me.
So I had 2 leg days a week, and my weight training was high reps, 60 seconds breaks. But let me tell you, this was the toughest 30 days of my life. Not so much because of the fitness, but the diet. The diet was something that I had never experienced before.
It is 8 p.m. here. I've already ate the 1,500 calories and I am still very hungry.
My stomach would growl for hours while I lay in bed, unable to sleep. It was brutal.
Man, I'm hungry.
But here's the thing. When I woke up, it felt different. I felt lighter, leaner. I wasn't imagining it, so I went on a scale. And believe it or not, just overnight, I had dropped a kilo.
1 kilo. 1 day.
And within 4 days, another 3 kilos were gone.
Man, this is insane. It's already 4 kilos.
My body was reacting, finally. And that's when it hit me. Man, I should have started this earlier.
But this time around, I didn't just try harder, I committed fully. And I actually got inspired by a video that helped me a lot through this process. I'm gonna play this clip because Will Smith tells his story, and Will Smith might be acting weird lately, but man, this clip of Will Smith stuck into my head and it helped me get through these goddamn 30 days. And I'm gonna play this clip and I'm gonna talk again.
The great thing about being at 90% is at least you know you're halfway there. The difference between 90% and 100% is lifetimes. You might have to eat differently. Like you might have to change friends. You might have to study sleep, you know, to get from B's to A's.
I realized I had been living at 90% throughout this journey, stuck in that comfort zone of almost there, if you will. The problem wasn't the effort, it was commitment. And to reach 100%, you've got to go beyond what you think is enough.
In this last 30 days, my friends and family, they started to ask me this question of, why are you doing this? You know, why put yourself through so much, especially with winter coming around? I even remember my mom saying, son, you look good enough, just enjoy life, you know? And honestly, I get it. From the outside, it probably did seem unnecessary, maybe even extreme, if you will. I even had to ask myself that question throughout this journey, to be honest with you. That, why am I doing this? At first, the answer was simple. You know, growing up, I've always imagined myself to be really fit at 40. I don't know why, but I just did. But that was my why initially, last year when I started. But after going through the whole experience, you know, the hunger, the setback, the frustration, that why kind of evolved, and that reason changed, if you will. And it wasn't just about having a six-pack anymore, you know, it became more about finding what I am capable of. If I had to take away one lesson from this past year, beyond the six-pack, you know, beyond the physique, beyond feeling great, it would be this discipline, a new level of discipline that I didn't even know I was capable of. You know, it feels like a diploma and an unexpected trophy I earned without realizing it, even being part of the game. Everything else, the fitness, the results, those were things I expected to achieve. But this discipline, it's different, man. It's something I hope to carry forward, to apply to other aspects of my life. to push myself to be a better person, perhaps. I really hope that this video inspired you to help you find your own why, to help you push past the comfort of almost there. Because I promise you that 100% is definitely worth it. Now, I'm not a fitness expert by any means. I simply shared you my fitness journey in the past year, and I try to be honest about it. And I am sure I have a lot more to learn. Now, I want to know about your thoughts. If you've ever experienced that 10% before, I want to know about your journey. And thank you for being a part of mine.